Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to Full Tilt Grading. Today we're working at the farm. So at the farm, it's always wet, and this paddock area specifically holds a lot of horses, and it's kind of on a downhill slope here. Now, Ed and I originally built this grit paddock, and about a year ago, the owners of the farm had asked me to put in a drain because water comes down and it holds water, and basically there'll be a big pond here. So what we did was I dug a trench in here about 2 feet deep, 3 feet wide, and all the dirt I just took down, hauled it away, and then we filled all this ditch with number 4s. We put fabric in there and then grit kind of slowly washed its way back in and sealed it back up again. And now it still does drain, but the biggest issue is the owner of the farm keeps using the harrow and all that stuff, and these guys go to rake up the manure. Basically they break the rake. So what we're going to do, as crazy as it sounds, is we're going to dig a trench on this side of the fence, and then we're going to take all this material and flip it over to this side, and then we're going to fill this back in with grit. That way these guys stop damaging stuff, and again, when they rake this stuff out, all those 4s end up everywhere, and the horses apparently don't like that on their feet. Now, I want to talk a little bit about my truck choice to use and why I don't have an F550. Well, mainly because I can't afford one. And honestly though, on a serious note, is I've been going to Connecticut a lot, and I travel pretty far for these guys, where Ed, he's traveling about 2 hours, and it's just way easier with DOT laws and kind of to fly under the radar in a pickup. Once you have a dump truck out of state, everything kind of changes. Cops want to hound you. So that is the reason why I don't have an F550 yet. One day I will. All right, so my plan here is the dirt that I dig out of here, we're gonna save it. In order to do so, what we have to do is grade out extra topsoil and strip it. Not grade it, sorry. So we're gonna strip out about 10 feet or at least of topsoil. We'll see once we get into it what it looks like. That way, this extra material here, we can bale it over, and obviously that stuff on the bottom can't get into here on top, otherwise it won't grow any grass. So we're going to save our topsoil. We'll put the bottom dirt here, we'll lift it up, and we'll put our topsoil back on top. That way it grows grass again. That there, people, is making pretty good progress so far. I'm just using a grading bucket to dig this out. Now keep in mind, it's not perfect yet, nor is it pretty. And basically the reason why I didn't get crazy digging this thing out quite yet is, one, we pretty much have gravity working with this on our side, so as long as we dig this thing with the grade, we'll have plenty of fall. But keep in mind, I have to go to the other side here, guys, and dig that stuff out and flip it over. So when I go to dig this stuff out, all this slough here is all going to push under, and I'm going to have to track over here and redig this to make it flat and nicer. So my plan is to keep going, digging this stuff out, right? And then I'm going to hop up on top of that topsoil. I'm just going to pull this stuff back, right? And then I'm going to go on that side, track over there, dig this stuff out. Now I'm thinking this stuff here, I'm just gonna flip it over and throw it over on this side here. After I clear that back, I should be fine to do that. Now, this is definitely gonna be time consuming because I don't want to mix everything. And like I said, I want to make sure this thing drains properly. So let's just kind of keep going and I'll figure it out as I go, like I always do. That side all dug out. We got some of that dirt there we dug out for subgrade. We got that pushed back a little bit. I should have made a little bit more room, I think, over there. Might be a little tight when we get back over there and start working, putting it back together, but we'll make it work. Anyway, now I'm gonna dig this stuff out. I ran to Ed's and got 2-foot tooth bucket. Rather than using a grading bucket to dig it out, we're going to use that tooth bucket with the 4s. It'll be easier, and it's got bill teeth on it, so it's not quite a smooth bucket, and it's not too aggressive of a tooth bucket, so it should work pretty good. We have a couple of these, one set up like this, one with rock teeth, and then we have one smooth. That way, whatever we need, we got it. We don't got to switch the plates out. And Ed and myself, we rarely use them, so if one of us needs them, it's no big deal. So let's get to digging. Lunch at the farm. What do we got here?
Zucchini bread and iced coffee.
Thanks, bud. Thank you. What do you have to say?
This is so weird. Don't
Please
film
like
me.
And
please like and follow us on YouTube.
Thanks, bud. All the 4s and grit dug out from that side. We kind of rough graded over there. At some point I'm going to hop on a T190, start up there and just push down what I can to fill up that hole. That stuff there, I'm going to waste that. That was in this corner here and it's literally filled with manure, so we're not going to use it anywhere. It'll just clog everything up. Now I switched back to my grading bucket. I got to come over here and clean up some of this that I pushed through when I was digging that out, which I kind of knew was going to happen, no big deal. Now what the plan is to put this stuff in as a base, and then we're going to put fabric down, and at some point, probably not today, we'll get number 4s and put fresh 4s on top. This wood will go because that's part of our problem here. I mean, the problem is it rains really hard. In the winter time, this thing will have a lot of manure in it. Then it thaws, it drains, and it all goes downhill. The manure gets like liquid, runs with the water, and then it just sits on top and runs through the 4s and yada yada. then it gets dry again and it gets tight, and it's like concrete. It just seals everything up. It's a common denominator. We've done this in all these paddocks, this whole farm, and this one here particularly, we had to get the horses back in their home, so I didn't get any footage of grade out in here. It looked pretty good. I did it as fast as possible. Tomorrow I'll get on the mini excavator and do the 2 corners, but honestly, it's good enough. That stuff gets harrowed all the time, and man, oh man, it was tough to grade that stuff, not gonna lie, because wherever it's packed down really hard, it's tight even with the tooth skid loader bucket to get it up, so you're constantly riding uneven. So you got to kind of dig an area flat and kind of move around more material than you think you would need to. All right, now we're over on this side again on the T190, and what we're going to do is we're going to push this dirt, the subgrade dirt, we're going to call it. We'll push that in close first, and then we're going to put our topsoil back on top. And then, probably not today because there's no backhoe here and it'll take me forever to shuttle in number 4s. Then we're going to get number 4s and put them up to here. And then somebody else, one of these kids that work here, are going to pop off these boards. We're going to get rid of them. Now, I'm not going to lie, I kind of messed up a little bit. Did this morning, which is no good at all. I hate that. And I'm not gonna lie, man, I've been pretty fortunate as far as not hitting stuff, but I have done that kind of stuff a few times and I absolutely hate it. So I hit that so far, and I also hit a downspout here. It cost me like $500 some to be honest with you. And the farm had just gotten them put in right before I hit it, the week before. And of course, stupid me, it was frozen out last winter. I was digging, and rather than starting far away because the material was frozen, I tried to get too close to the downspout with frozen material when I was digging out, and basically it just pulled the material, pulled the downspout with it, and down came the downspout, and $500 is right out my pocket.